Hey, morning, folks. Happy Thursday. Before I get started here, just remember to hit the subscribe button, the bell icon, and if you found this video useful at the end, just do hit like. That'll mean a lot to us actually in terms of the page. So first things first, let's talk about. Well, I'm not going to talk about the dollar actually. We didn't really do much, and that could be confusing because we had a really big basically thing that happened overnight is that Chairman Powell, during his testimony in front of the Senate Banking Committee, basically said, okay, a soft landing it might be hard for us to get there. We might not have. What soft landing means is, the rate hiking cycle was always going to happen. We had cheap money for so long to basically support the recovery through after what happened during COVID. So that wasn't always going to be like that. And money was already cheap from the 2017 to that 2018 crisis. Same thing, Europe globally, basically. We were looking at, after the recovery period, okay, the hiking cycle, the global hiking cycle was always going to happen. But how do we then manage and strategize in a way where economies can sustain a certain level of growth? Uh, you know, Basically a soft landing, right? So it doesn't completely, like, oh, suddenly business is shut down and all these things. Um, but that was made hard because, no one saw it happening, obviously. The Russian invasion of Ukraine, which sent everything, the price of everything, usually what I'm talking about is commodities, raw commodities, skyrocket. And that just made one of the mandates for the U.S. Federal Reserve, one of it is to maintain price stability. So that made it really hard, and now we're seeing a a hiking cycle that's a lot faster than they could have managed in a way, right? So they need to temper inflation, but then they don't want to push the economy into a recession. Last night he said we still need to control uh, inflation. We still need to raise rates, whether or not, and we can't say that doing this is not going to push the economy into a recession. What basically, in a way, what that means is if it gets to the point where either control inflation or push the economy into a recession, controlling inflation comes first. That is basically what it is. So, data wise, which is why in the coming weeks, coming months, it'll be so important data wise to give a taste that inflation is coming down. And in a way, we have seen it kind of drop. So palm oil, wheat, a lot of agricultural products have just taken a step back, and this is because fertilizer costs have come down, basically trading at lows. And if this continues, then we might see the inflation print just slowly dip. It could surprise a lot of people, right? So that is why the dollar hasn't just gone off the you know skis here because okay, the prices of these other things look pretty okay. I mean, I don't think they need to continue with the extreme hawkish stance. Um, he seems pretty sure, listening to the hearing, that by the end of the year, it it could look a lot better than it has been basically in the past couple of months where inflation has been. I mean, we know it's hot, but what we want to know is whether it's going to be entrenched into basically everything and just too sticky for it to move by raising rates, and they might need to raise rates even more, even faster. So with the development that's happening right now, doesn't look like it. But the fear of a recession, knowing the Fed will push it over the edge, so to speak, is just causing prices of commodities, including crude, right? This product has been on steroids for basically for the year. I did show this in one of the prior briefings, right? This was the start of 2022, and that is, and now we are trading here, retesting this massive trend line. Again, this hundreds to 101.24 is really important sort of area for basically bulls to protect. We traded a low of 101.53 yesterday before we see some buying come in, and that was at the end of the session, really. So I suspect, we might get a bit of a bit of turbulence expected here as sellers still try to push this below and buy. So there'll be a tug of war going on here. If there's none, that means that's just going to be, a lot of buyers at this level here that reloaded from here just stops getting triggered, and people might be put out of position and need to get short basically, and that just spirals into a whole other thing. So I hope this was useful. If you have any questions at all, hit us in the comments, join us on Discord, where we're doing a free trial for a month. Have a good session ahead. This is Reed, bringing you the daily briefing. Cheers.